Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another Sunday night live stream with my host, Dave World Toys, Dave Watson. Thank you, all of us, for joining and participating. I do have another special guest tonight. He's just been on another live stream literally half hour ago with John, Super Awesome Geek Show, with John last week. I'll let him introduce himself, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Evening, Pete.
I'm back. Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me
Not too
on.
bad, sir. Yeah, welcome, sir. I thought I'd do the first 2 weeks of this Sunday night toy chat with two special people that amazingly from my American toy tour I met. We spent a day or 2 days with each person, and it was like honestly some of the highlights of my trip.
Cool.
So just
Yeah, it was
before
a
you
blast.
carry on, we have
Stu,
Universal Collector in the house. We have Fuller Figures from all the way. Is it Island Guy? Is it Guy? We have Pete Toys and things. If he does the live streams on Instagram, keep up the amazing work, Pete. Put your Instagram in the chat. I'll pull you up for you, mate. We have John Reckon from your neck of the woods, just.
Oh, Jonathan.
And then everyone's saying hello to each other. Like they normally do.
Hashtag Scuba was robbed on Super Awesome's Jeopardy show. That's hilarious. No, Peaky won it fair and square. That was a fun round.
Technically, one of the questions John got wrong, so we can't grumble. He let it slide, so it's one of the things. It didn't make a difference at the end. It didn't make a difference.
Yeah, Peaky smoked us. My like I said, I know my colors of Power Rangers barely, and that's about it. That's where my knowledge ends.
But anyway, for all my new listeners or people that watch it in the everyone else, what do you actually collect, Scuba Pete, and where do you get your name from as well? Because a lot of people might not know you on this channel, I should say.
Right on. So the name Scuba Pete, the nickname, I actually am a scuba diver. That's what I do for my job most days. And everybody, of course, saw Scuba Steve in the Adam Sandler movie. So at work, it immediately got morphed into Scuba Pete, and it stuck ever since. I mean, we're talking, I don't know, 15, 18 years ago. I'll be at the hardware store shopping, and somebody will be like, Scuba, from way down the aisle. And I'm like, what's up? It's kind of a norm thing, like from Cheers. So a badge of honor. But as you can see from behind me, obviously there's some Star Wars ships hanging from there. So I love vintage Star Wars. That's Power of the Force hanging up there. But vintage Kenner Star Wars, G.I. Joe is massive. The flag is just behind me. If you want to see that, check out our channel, Chasing 80s Toys, where I give a tour de flag, and it's custom base.
Is it my correct? Is it that's still the biggest playset still in the world?
Yep, 7.5 feet long.
Yeah,
crazy. And then my other big third love is Masters of the Universe. Love. And recently acquired Eternia last year, courtesy of Jeff Barker, and
which is doing really, really well on your channel.
Yeah, that's one of our most viewed videos. So check that out if you haven't. It's I basically put it together out of the box. It's an unboxing, and it's got some breaky points to it for sure.
So, what do you think of this new one coming out with the plastic as we are? Do you think this new one will break as bad as the original, or very close to it? Do you think?
No, I think it'll be obviously much more durable. Now, how it ages, 20, 30 years from now, who knows? But I'm actually looking forward to displaying my vintage Eternia with that modern track on it.
Yeah.
I think it's close enough on the loop. It looks to be close enough. Even if it doesn't, there are some great reproduction tracks out there for about $100 on eBay And I know quite a few people who have bought those, used them, love them.
Acquired it, and yeah.
And I did go in and support that Mattel Creations Eternia. Yep.
Yeah, when I think I got back after my holiday, it already finished. And I was tempted at 800, but I thought, where am I going to put it in the house?
Yeah, it's
for me.
absolutely
I almost
massive.
I almost honestly went for the Mattel Snake Mountain because I absolutely love Snake Mountain.
I can't wait for
the big
that.
The Matty Collector one.
Oh, the Matty Collector one. Oh, that thing is like the size of a sofa.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I was really tempted on that one, but that I could have done a lot more with than the Eternia playset. But the Eternia playset, you could turn into Thundercats because you've got the cat now on the head.
Oh,
in the middle.
The big yawning
so
mouth.
Technically it's like a He-Man / Masters Universe, is it? What to say? Two toy lines you could reverse it.
Yeah, you could do like a mashup with Thundercats. I see that. Yeah.
Just because of the cat head and the cat claws on the front, he looks a tiny bit Thundercats back in the day.
Made,
I was like, ooh.
You know, the hands on the vintage one, they just kind of, but they're more articulated in the what is coming out. So it'll be fun to compare. I'm going to end up doing a video, kind of comparing and contrasting the two. Should be fun.
So technically, these new room of yours, you could have one on top of each other, like a shelf in between, like a top old school versus new school.
Actually, I could, yeah.
Or back-to-back play sets, do a 3 right in the middle of the hole.
It could happen. And I just got the carpet installed Friday morning, so just 2 days ago. They tore out the old carpet and laid in the new, like the best pad that you can get, and then a very nice plush deep pile carpet. So if anything takes a spill off a shelf, it's just gonna bounce. It's not gonna break.
What about for your little weapons? Like I know G.I. Joe has little guns. Will that make an effect on it?
So, what I ended, because that was in the back of my head. Like, man, I don't. These eyes are not getting any younger.
Yes.
So I did pick a carpet that is kind of a creamy brown with some flecks of brown. So easily, like a black weapon falling at you're gonna go, it's there. Yep. Stayed away from any kind of black flecks.
Yeah. I think I was doing it. I'd almost choose lying out or something so you can hear it. At least you can hear it fall. If something falls, you can hear that clank sound.
Oh, the T. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got I'm gonna have a nice workstation in there. I moved the pinball machine in there. It's filling up quick. The Lego table that you saw when you were here, which is if anybody's seen that, I've shown it a couple times.
Yeah.
But that table is my great grandparents' dining room table that they had in their farmhouse in Minnesota. And my dad and I refinished that table, and then it's so massive with the leaves in it, it just made a great Lego table for our kid and I. And so we've kept it all these years as a Lego table, but that all got moved in there. Hey, what's up, Baz?
Partner in crime in the chat.
But that was the fun yesterday, was taking all that Lego, without breaking it and shuttling it. Yeah, it was. I just pretended I was moving a pizza. I had a nice flat board to scoot sets onto, and then kind of, serve that over to the room onto a table, and then eventually able to break down the table and set it all back up. So it went well. Nothing broke, but it was nerve-wracking. Yeah, because I have that one tower that are that we made that's just massive, and I'm like, oh man, if this thing falls over, I'm just gonna be wrecked for the rest of the day. And
man, that's gonna be painful.
Took my time.
Just thought I'd mention before we carry on, Baz does his own Dark Liking channel, Dark Liking 81.
Yeah. This
Thursday is every Thursday is his live stream with either Peaky Arrow Productions, myself, Nick occasionally comes on, that sort of stuff. That's Thursdays. You've got Toy Division on a Wednesday night. Is it now ZSR, if I'm correct?
Yes, ZSR.
ZSR on a Friday with Shabby, Roland Reviews, and
Matt,
Zero Toy Hunter.
Yep.
I know there's an Irish group on a Tuesday and a few other bits. So
Tuesday.
technically, there's a load
Yeah,
of live
Brian.
streams every single day of the week. No?
Every day you've got a cool show, way better than anything on Netflix or HBO Max, if you ask me.
So yes, it's completely different in bits and pieces. 1 second. Gap After Dark, is it? Think
Hey, Gap.
nice to join you. Nice to see you, dude. So yes, there's a load of chats and everything else. If you got like a live stream, just put it in the chat. I'll try and stick it up on the bottom.
Hey, Chris.
Was that Chris then?
Yep. Smith Lord.
Another guy in the chat. That's why I called Gapper Sniffer. But yes, it's bits and pieces. But this coming Thursday, I'm giving another code away for this Echo-based Star Wars thing I've got coming up.
Oh, cool.
So technically, there's 4 codes, Pete. If you get the 4 codes, you'll either get like a 10% off a free Star Wars solo Japanese poster, a Quadro one.
Oh, nice.
Or I've got these card games coming in, and then there's free sweets for everyone when they get there. I will be showing a few bits off later what I've worked on. I've showed Scuba Pete.
That's gonna be cool.
And a few bits.
I wish I could stop over. I need a private jet.
Quite a few people have said it's like the Echo base is like the next big Star Wars thing after Celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, but we get on to Celebration. We get on to that a bit further in the chat and bits and pieces. It's it's crazy. See how it goes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the Star Wars UK this year.
Weirdly enough, Pete, I have bought absolutely nothing again this week. Bits and pieces. It's crazy, but
I don't worry. I've
Si's in the
made
show.
up for that.
Hello, Si.
Hey, Si. Got 3 of the codes already. Plus, you're roped off one. Oh, go Stu.
If you worked out basically Stu, that one. If I showed in the chat earlier, there's 4 codes in the chat, and I'll show you a thing in our group chat earlier.
Mm-hmm.
If you know the 3 codes, if you know Star Wars Mandalorian or Galaxy's Edge writing, that's all the 4 codes are in that.
In the Arabesh?
In Arabish.
Cool.
For example, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the thing I've been working on and building on are these big signs. And the Arabic, or whatever, what's it called again, Pete?
Arabesh.
That is what I'm on about, but that's just to say it's Jedi. Hence the Jedi signs on the thing a bit. It's all like in a raised up 3D thing.
Neat.
So there's a Jedi one, and there's your Sith one.
Oh, that's cool.
It's still got all the rope around it and bits, but that's a few teasers I'm giving away for the 4th of February in a couple of weeks. And that's the writing that I was on about. And that's what I've been buying recently, like trying to get the plastic, the materials and everything in for these. It's crazy, isn't it? So,
yeah, your booth is going to be ginormous for that thing.
It's 34 foot long.
That's crazy. I mean, it's going to be this beacon, that just rises above.
Technically, if you put tables. 5 flags in a row, it's 5 flags long.
I like this unit of measurement.
It's the only way to describe it, boy. It's like 5.5 tables. It's based 2 tables of Jedi, 2 tables of Sith, done in a different way completely with those.
Yeah.
A middle table with bits and pieces, and I've already showed the big Star Wars poster and that sort of stuff. So it is crazy, that sort of stuff, and this is crazy. Comment, tip your hat off.
Oh, G-Force is in here.
Yeah, I've just spotted him. Again, Mr. G.
Greetings.
I will try and send a few pictures to a few people so they can share it around when I can't build it at home because it's that big. I cannot physically build what I'm
Oh,
taking with me.
there's no way.
No, I haven't got a background or back force, so
Gap.
it's the gaps in and everything else. So let me try if this works. I know you've got a load of stuff to show off and toys.
Oh, I'm surrounded by. It's been a good week. Well, about a good week and a half. So
Go for it.
Let's start with something silly. Now, I couldn't pass it up, but it's a Smurfy phone. And if you, when you turn the dial, the bell clinks and the Smurf goes round and round. I got a thing for Smurfs, as you know.
Oh, that is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can, hold my calls. But, yeah, that
So if the phone rings tonight, you're in trouble then.
Yeah, right. What the Smurf? So that's one. And then another really oddball thing. So this is not G.I. Joe. This was basically like a Sears knockoff version that they offered. I really need to research more of it, but kind of a cool desert tower. I mean, the ladder's not really scale, but definitely for 3 3/4 Joe figures. But it was from a little line that Sears did. So I'm kind of interested to research that. That's always fun, when you're in a moment hunting and you see something you've never seen before. You're like, okay, I'm definitely getting it. I want to learn more about it, and I just haven't had the downtime yet.
Pete, am I correct? Sears, is it the Blue Snaggletooth exclusive in Kenner? Was that the shop?
That was Sears.
Yeah,
you got it.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, no worries. And then I picked up a nice, chunky Imperial toy. Got some dragons and such. They always go well with He-Man or Dungeons and Dragons. So
yeah,
when I find them, and they're always like $5, $8, $10, and it's like, okay, I'm in. Something new for me was the Filmation's Ghostbusters. That's Tracy.
Yep.
Missing the gun, but has the backpack. And I don't have any until now. So, it was, again, tough to pass up. So I hit the toy mall that you and I went to. And, it's all different cases. I think there's now over 300 glassed in cases that an individual rents each case or multiple cases, as the case may be. But so it's you just literally see anything and everything. Found a cool Black Star figure, and it is the light up version with the flint in the back.
Oh man,
which was crazy. I mean, how about that?
John did a series on that last week on his channel. Is it? John from Awesome Super?
Yeah, super awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'm like, how crazy is that? I was like, let's put a Flint Striker in a child's toy, because it's 1983. Why not? Let's do it. So I picked up him. Got a nice wind-up Smurf that was in way better shape than the one I currently have. Love those
If you're going to Smurf look.
Smurfy. From a antique mall, not the toy mall, but just like an antique mall, he had like dealer overstock of Kenner bagged ATST. So I picked him up. Yeah.
It's unusual with bagged as well. That's quite rare.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get the camera to. I mean, it's got the old cellophane tape on there. It's still sealed, but I was like, I'm in. He had, I think, 6 or 7 left, and I snagged that. Picked up a Sergeant Slaughter's Marauder in great shape. No cracked elbows, crotch intact. Paint is phenomenal. So
what's the color? Scoob, what's the colour that came with the vehicle itself that's in the cartoon movie? Was he
The
grey and was he grey and green instead of blue? I know there's a variant
on the vehicle,
with the vehicle. Yeah,
he had for the Slaughters Marauders, that was the woodland camouflage pattern that they had on their vehicles. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah.
Yeah, it was a woodland camouflage pattern that was only on those, which was way cool. Now we move on to knockoff wrestling figures.
Andre the Giant,
and Iron Sheik. So if you don't know, so obviously Mattel came out with, Masters of the Universe, and then that got knocked off by Remco. They took Remco to court. Remco said, ours is a little bit different, and it was like, okay, you can make those. And then
was it the AWA? Was it
AWA? Yeah,
a National Wrestling Alliance. Yeah,
but Remco got knocked off by Sun Gold?
Yeah.
And Suko. And I think these are Suko because the backs are very, very basic. See if I can get that to focus. Very basic with no country of origin or a company name to it, which was very typical with the Suko figures. Sun Gold, they would put their mold mark on the back or a leg, but not with these guys. So they're like knockoffs, which I love. The legs are not articulated. They're all one piece. But for $8, I'm like, yeah, I want Andre the Giant and Iron Sheik and, crazy get-ups. Next up, now we don't see much Palatoy stuff in the U.S.
Whoa.
So this is Commander Power. Unpunched. Yeah, I paid $50 for it because it's the U.S. and things just from Palatoy never make it over here. Yeah, I love that card art. That's what grabbed me. And then I looked over in the corner and saw the Palatoy logo, and I'm like, what the? And I'm like, okay, I'm in. But very cool. Yeah, Blazing Inferno set. And let's see. I may have found shabby She-Ra's Palace. So I had to pick that up. And if you know our family, Leslie and I, Leslie just found one of these at the top of December. So our kid got married, and you're supposed to get your wife something, because your kid's getting married and moving out of the house, and
it's not blue, but it's pink. Yeah.
You're supposed to get her pearls or some jewelry or something. She wanted She-Ra's castle, and so that's what I happily got her, and she is so thrilled to have that. But this is another one from the same seller at the toy mall, and couldn't pass it up for Shabby. So Shabby will have that Mexican paint version, and then he will have an American, the pink version. Let's see.
Full of figures and G-forces. Shabby's going to blow his mind when he sees it.
Actually, he already knows, because I jumped in the car and I just hit him up on Instagram video and went, hey, how's it going? And he was like, good, what's up? And I'm like, oh, just, hunting toys Thursday afternoon, spending a few hours. And he's like, oh, what'd you find? And I pan over to it, and he's like, what the France? And I'm like, yeah, you like it? It's yours. And he was like, no. I mean, he was actually misting up a little bit. So I love him. Hey, Daddy.
Just about to get to that one.
This is the remote controlled
version number 2 or 3. Without
with the clicker. I found that at just an antique store. And as you know, just the clicker goes for big bucks, but it needs a windshield. I'm willing to take my time, come up, try to find it. But the fact that it had the R2 remote, I'm like, okay, I'm in. It is missing one battery cover on the backside too as well, but you know, a labor of love getting the bits for that. And put that there. Found a lovely Dengar Empire Strikes Back on card.
Whoa.
The bubble's a little damaged, so the price was right. And I hear our laundry machine.
Laundry machine.
It's crazy. Yeah,
it's a Sunday night. It's a Sunday afternoon somewhere. Yeah.
Yep, it's Sunday. There goes Leslie. She's on the case. But yeah, I found that for, I think it was like $50-$60, just because the bubble was dented, and I'm like, okay, I'm in.
I like the card art for that. It's just unbelievable. It's a Toys R Us one as well, wasn't it? Because is that the old Toys R Us sticker was on it?
Yeah, that orange. Yep, it was a Toys R Us sticker that somebody sadly peeled off. I always like it when those are on there. You know, it kind of gives another layer of history to it. But and then got my Skeletrodrones.
Whoa.
Yeah. So this is part of the Kickstarter for the new RoboSkull Mark II.
Yes.
That they're doing. So they sent these out right before Christmas as kind of a, as a, you know, we want to thank you for supporting our endeavors, and they had these done and they were ready to be shipped, so they sent them out, which is awesome. And I think they're going to be doing that with a few other items of the backer kits. So
technically, that's going to be one item in the future to look out for. Just that, because that will be the rarer, higher price, like the Masters Universe backers. Yeah,
very cool. So yeah, those are my my toy finds from about the last week and a half. Oh wait, no, I lied. I also found Warpath G1. And no, I don't normally collect Transformers, but I'm, you know, as I find little ones like that, I kind of can't not pass it up. I'm like, it's Warpath. He's a tank, you know. G.I. Joe, military. I'm like, okay, I'm in.
I always ask this question to other people. I started with Baz last year and a few times, like at the car boot season. Mm-hmm. Your best pickup from the last week then, and say, I won't say your worst pickup, but the one you could have left behind if you had a choice.
The one I could have left behind was the one I started with, that Smurf phone. You know, I could have easily passed that by just because it's kind of large, but I think it'll be a nice centerpiece to a lot of the Payo vinyl Smurfs that I've got. You know, in the future, I could think of a Smurfy looking shelf.
Just before you answer the question, when's RoboSkull coming, Pete?
RoboSkull, I think it's the actual piece itself has gotten pushed back. I think it's going to be. Why did I see an email blast not long ago? I want to say it's going to be late summer.
June, July time then, would you say?
I think that's what they were kind of alluding to. And again, there's so many different things that come with it that Skeletron's being really cool, you know, as these smaller items are done. They're going to be shipping those out at their expense to all the backers, you know, just kind of tide you over, and they're doing a great job, you know, keeping you in the loop. And I can't wait, because I saw it at Joe Fest of AKA Valicon last year, and that RoboSkull Mark II, it is massive. I mean, it's huge, and I got super excited, you know, seeing it, you know, go up to it.
G-Force like the Smurf phone, just to say.
No, not the Smurf phone. And then for the absolutely best find, it's got to be another She-Ra's Castle, the crystal. Yeah.
Is it all complete and everything else? It looked like a big bag inside it as well.
There's a big bag in there. I think it might be missing one of the little blue window I've got to set it all up and double check it. But yeah, there was enough in that baggie, and the price again was right. That
you don't hardly see them anymore. Yeah,
no, you just don't see them anymore. And the fact that another one had come in, basically 4 or 5 weeks later, and even the people that run that toy mall were like, "That's a really good find," and I'm like, "Yeah, for the price."
Yeah.
Yep. Crazy.
Just a quick question for you then. With He-Man and Mattel's Origin figures come out, and they did the Revelations She-Ra and Hordak recently when I was in America.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think when they know they've now done Snake Mountain, do you think they'll get round to releasing She-Ra's castle in Origins? Possible?
I think so.
In the future?
I don't see any reason why not. It's so similar to how Grayskull's made. I think that would be really cool, and for fans like my wife, and I have no shame. I like her. She's cool. I think they could do quite a bit in the Origins line. There's just that's very fertile ground for Mattel to just keep on keeping on. The Snake Mountain that they've shown that they're going to be bringing to market. I'm like,
I don't know about the pink. I don't know about the pinky color though. It's still pinky, is it? Or
pinky.
No, the Snake Mountain. The Snake Mountain.
Oh, the Snake Mountain.
It's like a pinky color instead of red.
Purpley pinky, but I like it because it's just different. I'm looking at my vintage Snake Mountain just right there.
Perched.
Perched up there. But yeah, I would snag it. I'm excited to get like the Slime Pit and the Fright Zone. I do have the original versions of those, but I think that would be great to also have those as well. Bring it on, Origins. AKA it's a brother from another mother.
Yeah. So technically, with Toy Fair, or Toy Trade Fair, literally around the corner. I know you've got a lot of like Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Action Force, He-Man. Anything you'd like to see at the trade fair? One of the key items you collect, or anything special?
You mean like an old property refresh new again?
Anything. It's basically with the trade fairs. They normally show up the toys off for all the traders for the whole year.
Yeah.
And then you get some of the big YouTubers and bits. Going to these shows, showing off all the brand new toys for the year. For example, they'll probably show off the next Origin waves and that sort of stuff you might have seen. But Action Force, they're probably doing the next set of Action Force figures coming soon this year or later the year. NECA will release all that stuff. I know NECA's just released the Elf figure in the shops in America. Target's just been getting them. I just wondered if all the toy lines you collect, anything you want to see or revamped in your collection?
I'm excited for Wave 3 or Series 3 of Valaverse Action Force. The girls of Action Force, if you want to call it that, are starting to drop. There are a lot of cool characters in that. I've ordered a couple, and I've been watching some of the YouTube videos out there, like Laser Pants or Analog, talking about those. And it's gotten me even more excited to snag those. So I'm definitely going to be jumping into some of those from at Joe Fest. Bobby Valla will be there with his epic booth. But as far as like a big, the big spring reveals in the toy lines, I want to. It's like tease me with more Motu Origins. Like, please show me the Fright Zone. Shabby and I have been talking about that. There's been loose talk out there for I think over a year about a Fright Zone, and I think that it would be awesome, especially with the little rubbery snake puppet. With it, I mean, definitely could do an updated version of that. Maybe not the rubber puppet, but just an articulated kind of deal. I think that would be awesome. I'm excited for more Lego because I was hearing tale that Lego's supposed to bring back some of the Indiana Jones sets, but in an updated fashion, bigger, badder, better. That I didn't collect at the time, but I would love to see those and snag those.
It's almost like John said. It's like the San Diego Comic Con. Literally, it's just when they showed off Snake Mountain for the first time, either Moto Con or whatever. They put so many Easter eggs with that place. It was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Easter eggs in Toy World. It's like if you know your toys or your figures and bits and pieces, you see that little nod to a figure that they say maybe come in, maybe not, but just to tease to see how many spot it. It's you know.
I think it'd be cool too to see. I would love to see Hasbro and what these vintage collection, vehicles that are coming out. I was watching Usual Mike's latest video before I nodded off last night, and they got the code word for it and the price point, like it's $50, and what's it gonna be? And everybody's like, well, it's a smaller vehicle, and I'm like, I don't care. That would be cool to see what in the world they're coming out with, but I'd like to see some of those vintage Kenner things kind of reprised again in the VC line. I think that would be awesome.
I know some people on the internet do know all the code words. I know in the Power Ranger, like Power Ranger universe, I call it. I think it's Tokyo Topics. He knows all the code systems for the toys they use. So sometimes people go to him to see what's coming out or leaked or that sort of stuff. It's for like a toy collectors like all of us, even in like all the chat and everything else. The next 2 months or next couple of weeks is the exciting times because the trade fair's just about to start. So you can see what's coming out. Cross your fingers all the way up to Christmas with a load of, like, when you go to like the San Diego's, or for example, you've got like Joe Fest, which is a G.I. Joe convention in America. They'll show exclusive G.I. Joes off there before all the same exclusive to that show and everything else. It is crazy. So,
Bobby Valla always brings some special, things that are just like, I mean, his booth is, it was just ginormous. I don't know, it was like a double booth, but it was always packed. But he, not only did he have what figures people knew already existed, but he brought like prototype versions that were in a multi-pack that sold very well. Some new weapons packs. I mean, it was brisk. It was a lot of fun to watch somebody that I got to know just a little bit and their passion for what they're doing. And it would be just like you or I all of a sudden, like, oh, I'm gonna start my own toy line, and I'm gonna whatever that is, and I'm gonna do it right. Like, because you've loved toys all your life, and you've got that insider knowledge on how to make them and the factories and shipping, all that stuff. And just to watch that all rolled up in Valla it's a blast. I get a kick out of it.
Yeah. Well, I know for a fact, hopefully in the future on a Sunday night chat, if they are available, I know a couple of people that own their own toy companies, one in the UK and one in America, that I'm hoping just to get on for like a half hour, an hour special with them to explain what goes into companies and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
To get like some of the other companies a bit hard, but we'll see how it goes. But the Sunday night toy chats are just before I forget, next week is like an Echo Base live pre-show. So if you've never been to Echo Base, which is the Star Wars convention in the UK, the small one compared to Celebration, I'm hoping to get a few people on to tell what to expect, what sort of stuff's there, meeting other Star Wars fans, meeting other people. That's the main thing about next week.
Yeah, just like a
pre-show, yeah.
Yeah, FAQ.
Hopefully I'm getting one of the organisers again, like we did last year, on, or a person related to, so we can answer a few questions, or they can give us. I've never been. I was planning to, but I had like the COVID thing just before, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
I know cool people going to Echo this February.
Yeah. It's less than two. It's 12 days away. It's like 13 days away. It was like 2 weeks yesterday. It
No,
is crazy how far it's
it
close it
feels
is.
it feels like they just had the fall one, like last
October.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. It is so crazy. What's crazy? But yes, load of stuff coming up for Echo Base on my channel and bits and pieces. All coming in the next 2 weeks. I know April on my channel I'm doing a whole Star Wars month.
Nice.
And I know like a few people in the chat and a few other people who like said I'm doing this like how to like build signs and how I build certain things.
Oh, that'd be a cool FYI. I mean,
Yeah.
we were just talking about how YouTube is just this. Not only is it awesome for our hobby and all that you collect, but it's so cool to run into other videos that I don't know, help you fix your car, fix your lawnmower, how to build a sign, how to pour a giant resin model. My tastes are all over the place when it comes to YouTube. My channels are not just toy channels, and so I like going down YouTube rabbit holes like that. So how to make a cool Star Wars sign. Yes. Awesome.
It's just something different for the channel. I've got plans for this year and bits.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm going to few other bits I might be planning on and doing a few bits, but I'm not planning too far in advance just in case a few bits and pieces happen or like that sort of stuff.
Sure.
So, at one stage I was tempted just to get rid of all my collection and just go for like the mini figures.
The teeny tinies.
Teeny tinies, which you still get your figure in your comic book, but you can see it so many more on the shelf. It's unreal.
They're just really hard to read. I mean, I don't even think my readers will.
They're like the little Hot Wheel cars,
Which is great because
mentioned to Peaky Arrows Productions. Yeah, you mentioned Peaky Arrows Productions, the world's smallest Stitch figure.
That's cool with the surfboard.
Something for John. Scooby in the, right next to me, like the G.I. Joes.
They're cool.
And just in case for any of the girls watching, you got the Barbies.
Nice.
Which is, there's so much stuff that's going on and bits.
There's so much out there, and no matter what you collect, you can call the 80s the golden era into the 90s, but it is pretty amazing what's out there for us to collect if you enjoy modern offerings, as many of us do. I'm a blend of old and modern.
Yeah.
But it's simply staggering. Sometimes I can't keep up with all the the pre-orders and the woes with that, but I did jump on the Frogmonger figure from Mattel Creations the other day, and that went really well as a pre-order. They had the robot check, where you're like, I'm not a robot, and that really helped. I think it was several hours afterwards, and you could still hop on and order one if you wanted, which was very, very nice.
But I don't know if that's the smallest comic book. A few people about our comic books in the chat, but it's like, there's your normal hand, But it's still got the, I wouldn't say you can read the writing, but it's still got the comic strip inside.
Nice. It's still the legit book.
It's still it's still got the 8 or 10 pages in, I can't grumble. It's got the checklist on the back as well. Yeah.
Smart.
So it's, they're not too bad what you get for your book.
Yeah.
But there you go. It's crazy. So the other thing is, Pete, you're coming across to the UK soon, aren't you? For this,
for celebration.
Where I did a venture across America. You're doing America across the UK.
Yep, hopping across the pond and headed to England for celebration and meet up with quite a few folks. I think we've managed to score 4-day passes, luckily, so we can be there no matter I know a lot of people didn't get that, or maybe, even I don't.
Yeah.
Watch out. I don't want to be there every day, all day for 4 days. That's, it's more about being available to meet up with friends that are there on a particular day. That's what I'm digging about it. So it doesn't matter what day you may have gotten your pass, or maybe you don't even have a pass and you're just popping up to London to hang out. That's cool too, because I'm more excited about, hey, where are we going to lunch? Are we going to a pub? We're going to, throw back some pints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy sometimes. I was going to try and get the 4-day pass, but my holiday was just coming out at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was half thinking of doing a table at Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, right on.
But the problem is, I message them as soon as they announced the dates, and I still have not heard nothing yet at all of how much the tables are, or how much what's
yeah,
what.
What do you even do to get in a queue to say I want to have a vendor table? Yeah, I don't. Wow,
I've checked with a
I'm
few.
Sure it's cutthroat.
Yeah, I've checked with a few people that's been before,
and
I've heard a ballpark price that's just like you've got
crazy.
No chance. Yeah,
for what you would have to sell to cover what they want. Yeah, That's what I'm kind of excited to walk that floor, that sales floor, but at the same time a little like I feel, I don't want to be taken advantage of, or I'm like really going to have to be, have those spider senses tuned up to watch out for. Yeah, that's not a good price. That's crazy. Honestly, I'm super excited. We want to hit Leicester Vintage Toys and check them out, and probably a few odd shops here and there as well.
Well,
I'm super excited to hunt.
The better half's going with Leslie. She's upstairs doing a few bits. Anything she's looking forward to, do you know?
Or she is super excited to hang out with Stu and his lovely wife. And then we're also gonna hook up with VTR Dave and DCB June if that works out. She's also excited just to do, the usual touristy stuff that maybe because you live in London or live in England, you're like, yeah, whatever. And we're like, no, she wants to go see Windsor and the Tower of London and those things. I mean, we take the stuff around here for granted. We have, lots of caves and Mammoth Cave's not far away. I mean, we kind of take it for granted and you forget to go there. Pete, are you taking in a safari? Essex should be open. It's so wrong. But yeah, we're gonna kind of pop around. Hopefully, meet up with quite a few people. So we just booked our flights, and yep.
Not long to go now, is it? End of March.
Yeah, end of March, first part of April. Yep.
So about 9 weeks away.
Crazy.
9 weeks away.
Which I haven't been. I really haven't been anywhere in a while, and not because it was lockdown. Just haven't been. So it's exciting, and I've never been to England. So,
any toys you're going to be looking for? But I know everything comes out in America first. Anything?
No.
Specific?
Yeah. Back to Palatoy. I crave more Palatoy Action Force. A Roboskull, the Palatoy cardboard Death Star. Those would be two big heavy hitters that I would be like, yeah, like prepared to throw down on those. There's Leslie. But the things that are, because anytime anything with Palatoy Action Force gets put on eBay or it's for sale in a shop around here, it automatically has this ultra high premium to it. And I know I'm on some Facebook toy groups, and I know those lads are like, they're having a hard time believing that carded Action Force figures are selling for £30 or 40 quid. And going, that's just nuts. And I'm like, try living in America. It's like, $70,
no,
$80, $100 US for carded figures that I'm sure you all go, well, that's just stupid money. You know, I thought it was expensive here, but that's just dumb because there's just not that many around. And
yeah. It's the same in the collector's world, isn't it? When you've got everything from Hasbro, you then go back to Palitoy in the UK for your Action Force, your bag of your Hasbro products.
Yeah.
But then you go to France to get your Meccano, your other places you get your Lily Ladies. It could be very hard to get a carded item from every single country. It can be done, but it's going to be. I think it's only Star Wars that can be done.
It's some of those carded prices for a Lily Ledy or a Meccano is like, hello.
Yeah, it is so, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to just take in England as a country. Like I said, I've never been. I've been to Ireland many, many years ago, over 20 years ago. So it's been too long.
Yeah, I'd just go with the toys. Take me if there's a good toy shop or someone sees a good toy shop. It's like, that'll do.
Yep. Be like, is that a pub? Oh, double threat, even better. Toys and pints.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone just says enjoy your food and enjoy your stuff. It's going to be
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. You know, size like, wait till you have a full English breakfast scuba. And I'm like, bring it on. How, like, beep, beep.
Yeah, like fish and chips is completely different to yours, and it's completely weird.
Mm-hmm. Your chocolate is so much better. There's VTR. Hey, Dave.
Yeah. There it is.
We're
Mr.
just
Vintage.
talking about you.
So technically, you run your channel with at least 3 other people.
2 other. Yep. Chris
2 other
Miwa,
people.
Chris is in the Netherlands, and then Jeff Barker, who's in Idaho. So kind of on the other side of America.
How did you all guys meet? Unless it's scuba diving. Must be scuba diving.
No, it's toys. And Chris Miwa and I met via Mercy's YouTube channel way back when.
Yeah.
That's actually how I met Stu back in the day. And Chris and I hit it off, and we started just to chat privately, and we would do a Skype here and there.
Yeah.
And then Jeff, he and I became friends because we were both hanging out on like the Retro Blasting channel and in Michael's live streams. And Jeff and I got Michael was having a Holy Grail kind of discussion. And so everybody in the chat was putting, oh, what's your Holy Grail? You know how chats go.
Yeah.
And somebody said, Scuba, what about you? And I'm like, oh, I would love to have the Defiant, which is the G.I. Joe space shuttle launch complex.
Yeah.
Because I'm an 80s kid, so I love the space shuttle. That was the big deal. I've gotten to be lucky enough to go down to Cape Canaveral. But the G.I. Joe space shuttle, I've got the flag. How about the shuttle? Well, Jeff is in the chat, and he's like, hey, we ought to talk after this stream. I've got a Defiant I've been restoring, and I think it'd be for sale. Let's talk. And I'm like, the heck you say, So that's how Jeff and I started hanging out. And then I was already doing some toy hunts for Chris and his channel, Chasing 80s Toys. And I said, Jeff, we ought to video this. And he was like, that's a really good idea. I don't have a channel. You don't have a channel. And I'm like, I know who does. So we're like, Chris. So the 3 of us, meet finally cyberly. We're like, what do you think about we do this series where, because we're going to be stupid, ridiculous, and ship one of the most fragile G.I. Joe playsets across the country. Nobody's dumb enough to do that. And we're like, but we are going to try it. And that's how all 3 of us got together. And then Chris said, you know what? Why don't we just make this our channel? Which was awesome.
Yeah.
Jeff and I both were blown away. And Chris happily said, I'll still keep doing the editing because he's awesome at that and putting effects in and music and all that. And I'm like, you mean Jeff and I get to stay just average schmoes? Hey, Nick. And just film raw footage and then send that to you and you'll craft it into these produced pieces. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm in. And, Jeff's like, okay. So we've been cranking ever since. We're coming up, I think, on 2 years of us together making videos. So that's how we all met.
Unbelievable.
Crazy. Yep.
Crazy. So anything planned for your channel for the next... Are you going to be filming anything in the UK or in England when you're over here, or anything coming up?
You know what? I was just talking to Leslie about that, and I think it needs to have a, Scuba and Leslie go UK, with some installments, nothing crazy long or whatever, but maybe some small snippets of our trips and meeting up with everybody. I think that would just be a blast because there's so many pals that I get to meet, I get to hug, raise a pint.
Before I forget, vintage Leicester Vintage Toys do have one of the passports. I asked them. I said they couldn't remember where they put the stamp last time I spoke to them, but I know
nice.
they are in the UK and they have got one of the passports. So if you do bring it over, they might have. I don't know if they've found it yet, but when I spoke to them at the toy fair, they said they do have one. But I'm not. If they found it, just pre-warn you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I keep it in my car, because we'll be popping up to Cincinnati and doing some hunts again with Ron here, probably in February. And so we kind of do this big loop of Cincinnati almost up to Columbus, Dayton, and back down again, hitting a lot of different shops. So I'm kind of anxious to bring my passport and be like, hey, are you a part of this, program? Because as a shop owner, actually, it's a really good, like you showed the Toy Mall folks.
Yeah.
Amy, what
Brick
that
and
was.
Brack Records has got it, and Toy de Jour. That's it.
That's it. Well, I'm gonna be. I'm still gonna bring it in and be like, hey, because it is a good way to get exposure for small shops. I know.
Yeah.
That's when we do go somewhere. That's I'm over on the internet like toy shops near wherever our destination is.
Technically, when I spoke to Mike's Vintage Toys in Columbus, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They were thinking of talking to every shop in Columbus's area or Ohio's area and doing their own passport.
Their own version?
Yeah, because they got the Ohio Toy Show. Is it coming up in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah,
I think it's the 14th of February, is it?
I think it is Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's like 6 or 7 mega halls that I'll be checking out to see if it's any good. I might be like, is that my next trip? But I was speaking to those guys and they were thinking of doing a similar type of passport for the whole area because they give you a map of Ohio of all the toy shops.
Yeah, they do. They're just like, here. Yeah, it's way cool. There's so many in Ohio. It's ridiculous. And
it's where Kenner Country as well and everything else, was it?
Yeah, Kenner in Cincinnati, which is cool. Yeah. You go by the Kroger building, which is used to be the old Kenner headquarters. You can drive by the Cincinnati Museum, which is the old train station that if you have Kenner superpowers, the Hall of Justice is modeled after that architecture. Which is I
was supposed to go there. I was supposed to go there on the last day.
Oh, I remember that with the post office snafu.
Yeah. Well, the credit card wouldn't put a load of money on at all. Then went to the post office, said, we're not accepting it. We need to go to another one. So then I went to another one and they accepted it. And it was like the worst box I sent back, but it's like, oh, God. But
yeah, it ate up your whole day.
Yes, basically. Whoa. So unbelievable. So there you go. So Pete, we're almost coming to the end. Because I know you've been on another channel just before you came on this one. I don't want to keep you with Leslie. And I know it's your tea time coming up. Are you having the steak and double baked potatoes?
You know what? We
Or the
are
cheese spread.
Oh, the pimento cheese spread. Oh, I need to pick some of that up. So good. Yeah, we ruined. We introduced Dave to some southern, or at least some oddball cuisine. This cheese spread is so good. Leslie introduced me when we were dating. She was like, "You haven't had pimento spread?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like,
When you get a
"Try
chance,
it."
can you ask her to send me the recipe again? Because I've tried to make it, but I
Oh
can't
yeah,
make it. Yeah. So,
can do.
but yeah, anything you got coming up then on your channel in the next week, 2 weeks?
Probably in the next 2 weeks, we'll drop a small toy hunt that I did up in Indiana. And then I'm going to be shooting little YouTube shorts, I think, for our channel as far as the toy room expansion and its updates. So,
Yep. You didn't do the short for the Eternia playset, did you?
No, I haven't. So many other things, you know.
It's unbelievable.
Time flies. That's what's crazy.
Where can we actually find you, Scooby? Just in case people want to reach out to you and have a say hello.
I'm Scuba Pete V on Instagram, and I'm Scuba Pete 2 on Twitter. That's where you can find me personally. And then, of course, you can find me on YouTube with Chasing 80s Toys. We've got a lot of cool content out there. Chris is not only addicted to toys like all of us, but he also does some killer cosplay. He brings that very European flavor that only he can with events in the Netherlands and beyond that he goes to, which is really cool. And then Jeff, like I said, he's out in Idaho, and he's a big army builder of vintage Kenner. It's crazy. He loves G.I. Joe. He likes doing little histories and restorations of different stuff. So yeah, I like to think we're a good mix.
Yeah.
Keep it interesting. So
bit of everything. So there you go.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to the chat tonight. There's been Miss Detty, Action Pop Dad, Vintage Toy Rush, Gap After Dark, Stu, Ronaldo, Chris from. If you any of you guys haven't subbed to any of these channels, please go and sub to any of the channels. Don't forget to sub to Pete. Me, I'm just Dave World Toys. I collect a bit of everything and anything across the world. In the next 2 weeks, I'll be at Echo Base Star Wars Convention live in Redditch. This Thursday, there might be another code. We'll explain about the code system very soon on his channel. Next Sunday, I'm doing a pre-Echo Base live Star Wars show. So if you've not been or don't know about it, try and join me next Sunday night. Smugglers, everyone else, everyone please stay safe out there, keep well. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Pete's channel, my channel. Everyone else is in the chat. I was going to say thank you so much for tonight, for Pete. To Leslie upstairs, thank you again and jumping in the chat and saying hello this morning. So thank you again, everyone. Thanks again for chat. Please stay safe this week. Have a good toy hunt, good toy week. So thank you so much. And
thank you, David.
Thank you again. Good night.
See you, everybody.